Hello, my name is Hannah Dok and welcome to Nanay Anay. For today's video, we are going to share to you what are the things that my family like about the Philippines. So for the record, we moved here in the Philippines 2015, so we've been living here for 8 years now. So
This is specifically what we like about the Philippines as opposed to the U.S. Like what's better about living in the Philippines. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my husband here could really answer that question.
And you could too.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, Tatay, so what are the things you like about the Philippines?
Well, one of the things I like the most is the year-round growing season. That's a kind of a big picture idea for me to move to the Philippines. Is we have better access to fruits and veggies all year round.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that, and then that also leads to me. What I like about the Philippines is like availability of local produce. Like it's really like so close. Like just last week we got a delivery of 15 pounds of cucumbers straight from the farm of my classmate. So that's like really nice.
How many kilos?
15 kilos.
So that's over 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of freshly picked, freshly harvested. Yeah, like that's like one thing I like here, because of the whole year growing season. So I have friends who would just call me, "Hey, ate, we have some of this, do you want it?"
Yeah.
And I always grab the opportunity because again, it's freshly picked. It's not like it came from California and then it's shipped all the way to Nashville, like that's super, super far away.
Yeah.
Transported. So imagine the preservatives and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and you can let it ripen, on the vine, that kind of thing.
Yes.
All right, next thing that I like is the warm weather. I very much enjoy the warm weather. I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it was miserable. Well, it wasn't so bad, but then I started working outside. I spent how many years? I think 5 years roughly in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, working outside in the cold and the rain and doing satellite work. So I got to fully experience the winters on a daily basis for months on end. Every winter I was trying to desperately quit working in the satellite industry, and eventually I did. So we left to go to the Philippines. Even in Nashville, Tennessee, they still had some snow, some cold winters, and I had to be outside in that. It was not fun. But here I never have to worry about that.
Yeah, that is the bad side for me, but I'm not gonna talk about that. I don't like warm weather.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have experienced some cold, but you have to try really hard to get cold over here. Like you have to go riding on a motorcycle in the rain, like at a certain time of the day, and so then you can be cold for a little while.
Yeah. But not freezing cold.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The next one on this list is I like how everyone is so friendly and inviting. Very open. They want you to come in their home. They want you to sit down. They'll try to feed you even if you don't want to be fed. They're very, very warm. They always try to speak your language. They always try to speak English to you, and they enjoy practicing English with you. And they're just very, very kind, friendly people.
Yes, that's really that's one thing that I like here in the Philippines. Everyone is really nice and inviting, and compared to the U.S., it's like not at all.
In the north, especially, like in Wisconsin, the people are very direct. You don't have small talk going on between strangers. In the south, you might have that.
Yeah,
where
the friendly.
People are a little bit more friendly down south, where it's warm.
Yes.
But when you're up north, where it's cold, it's just like, I'm here to get something done. Right?
I really like that thing in the Philippines, and then I like that my children are exposed to that friendly environment, friendly, inviting, atmosphere. Like I remember going before to Washington DC, and everyone was so like sterile, like
frigid,
very,
impersonal.
And I was like, I don't want my children here. Come on, let's move. Let's get out the state immediately. Like that. Next time.
Next one for me is there are much fewer enforced government rules and regulations. So they don't affect daily life as much as in the U.S. So there tends to be more rules and regulations in the U.S. that affect how you live on a daily basis. So, I mean, back in the US, I would travel quite a bit, you know, and so there's always, you know, different rules, different policies, different, you know, laws that you have to worry about in different jurisdictions, and, you know, speed limits and all the different traffic rules and how they're enforced, right? The traffic is a big one.
Yes.
A lot of traffic rules in the US. Yeah, car seats.
Yeah,
is
like
another good one.
Yeah, like
good
in
example.
the US, that was really like stressful for me because I breastfeed my baby on demand. So whenever we travel back in the US and the baby has to stay in the car seat, it's really stressful for me to hear the baby constantly crying because I know the baby just wanted to be breastfed, and so I didn't like that about the US. Over here, you know, whenever we travel, I could just like, you know, I like that I'm able to feed my baby anytime I want.
And wasn't it technically legal in the US?
In some states.
Some states to breastfeed
the baby while traveling. But again, I understand. But don't get me wrong, I understand why the policy, you know, is saying for that car seat thing. But in general, it's more strict over there than over here.
Yep. So the other thing I like here is that I can work during the nighttime. So most of the companies I work with are in the US or in the UK or different places like that, Canada. So I can wake up very, very early, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and the whole house is quiet and I can get a lot of work done, you know, that way. And it's not as hot, so it's more laid back, you know, because I have those hours where I can just focus.
Yes.
Yep. And then once everybody starts waking up, I get distracted a lot. So I like to have that focus time early in the morning.
Yeah. And then what else, Ty?
Hold on, let's see here. Oh yeah, and another thing about that is I love going running or walking during the early hours so I can see the sun rise over a tropical landscape.
Yes.
It feels like I'm on vacation every day when I get to do that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, like we live in Mindanao, so it's like I just want contradictory to what other things believe about Mindanao, that it's not a safe place. That's not true. Like Alex and I could go for a walk in the middle of the night, no problem whatsoever. So that's one thing I like here, you know. Compare back in the US when we live in the not so good neighborhood.
Yeah,
like,
well we're quite rural here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we are in a city, but it's like
even
kind of out in the
Manila,
middle of nowhere.
Well, even in Manila, you know, you can still go for a walk.
Oh, I wouldn't know. I haven't lived in Manila for years or months, right? So, I mean, I imagine there's some places in Manila you don't do that, right? Just like in Milwaukee or Chicago or anywhere else, or there's just places where you don't go out at night, right?
Yeah, but that's one thing, you know, just the liberty of going for a walk, you know, and then do like it's really safe, you know. Saying I can go with the children at night, you know, and I don't worry.
These are all my ideas. Do you have any ideas?
Sorry. Yeah, that's your idea. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, like, do you have any other ideas that I didn't write down about what you like about the Philippines?
What do I like about the Philippines? Well, I already said that, you know, about the local produce. You know, that's really one thing I like. Oh, I know, but you wrote it there.
Oh,
I mean,
what is it?
The beaches.
The beaches. That's the next
the
one.
ocean. Not just beach like next to a lake or a river, but I like the beach like by the ocean.
The ocean, the salt water.
The salt water.
Yep. Getting access to that, you know, the big waves and lots of different beach options. You know. It's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then.
Okay, and this is the last one that I have. This is one that's very, very specific. As an introvert, I enjoy the insulation provided by a general lack of cultural and language understanding. So when I'm in public or even in some social situations, I'm just kind of blissfully unaware of what other people think of me. I can't interpret their facial expressions or their body language. I'm just like, just totally clueless. It's really quite nice, right? So back in the US, you know, I'm more in tune, right? You can pick up on whether or not somebody's comfortable around you. But here, I'm just like, hi, everyone, you know? And so I get to interpret whatever they're doing or saying in whatever way I want.
And that's the opposite.
But she's in tune, right? She knows if somebody's like trying to flirt with me, And I'm clueless.
Oh, not just the
you know?
flirting, in general,
Yeah, other things too. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like the opposite, because like in the US, it's the opposite also. Like because like what he said, he's the one who's able to pick up those, bad language or those
Yeah.
like movements, in the crowd, and I can't pick up those things, and I'm just like,
Yeah, like if they say something mean or if they're very rude or very dismissive, like if somebody just does that to you, right? Like shuts you down or just does something very, very socially inappropriate, you get angry, you get upset, right?
Yeah,
and I mean, but over here, I can't tell that that's happening.
Yes.
I literally don't even know.
Yeah.
Like if they say something, I'm like trying to get like explicit words out, and so I'm just totally it's a blank slate as far as like all those little nuances. If they're trying to be rude, can't pick up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like another example of that, like my experience in the US, people would be like telling me like, are those all your children? It's like, yeah, and I'm so happy to tell them, yeah. And then someone would say, you should get a television. And for me, I was like, I didn't pick up on that. Why get a television? And I just said, oh, we're fine. My children don't like television. But now I know what that means. Anyway, just like the difference between the culture, yeah. So what else, Oh, but one thing I like about the Philippines is like I really like how here the family values, when it comes to like the children. I like that the children here are more are taught here to respect the parents. Compared to the US in general, okay? I'm talking
there's
about
positive aspects to that.
Yeah, like how the children here, like in the US, how the children are very like frank and bluntful, almost to the point of kind of disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
While over here, like you've seen, the parents and the children, how they communicate to the parents. Yeah, there you go. That's the term.
Polite, yeah.
More polite, yeah.
Children tend to be more polite to their elders.
Yes, and that's one thing I like about here. That's why I'm so glad that we are here, and the children will get to see that kind of, upbringing, that kind of culture compared to the one in the US.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel safe. Do you feel safe here in the Philippines? Yeah. That's one thing. Yeah, I feel safe here in general for my family.
Yeah. The most dangerous part is the mold.
That's just a thing.
That's the humidity, right? You got to be constantly fighting that.
Yes. So maybe we should do a series about what are the things you don't like about the Philippines.
I don't know.
But anyway, that's it, guys. I hope that those things that we said would invite you to come visit us here. It's really like no wonder there's a thing called "It's more fun in the Philippines."
That's the slogan.
Yeah, that's like the slogan. It's more fun here in the Philippines. So yeah, so if you want to travel, see us here. We mentioned that to our friends, and
if you make an appointment, you don't have to actually go, right? Like if you don't, I mean, I don't know many people like that back in the US, but if that's a thing, like if you make an appointment and you don't want to show up, you don't even have to tell the other person you're not going to be there. You can just ghost people, and nobody's going to get mad at you.
And that's
that's
a normal here.
So if that's something you do in the US and you had a lot of problems with people getting upset, nobody will get upset at you over here for blowing them off.
That is so true.
Laissez-faire, just whatever.
Yes, that's so true.
Que sera, sera.
Yeah, guys, if you do like our video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be updated of our videos here at Nanay and I. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.